Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a Toyota Tundra Platinum with a factory suspension lift. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Brent Brown Toyota here in Orem, Utah for giving me some time with this truck. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this Tundra is a twin-turbo 3.4-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is stated to be 17 around town and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 389 horsepower and then 479 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So the next thing I do want to mention is that I have already reviewed quite a few Tundras for the 24 model year, so I'm not going to bore you guys with all of the Tundra details. We're going to focus on the lift and how that lift makes this truck perform from a driving perspective. But there are some interesting things about this truck that I have noticed. So like on the front end, for example, there are no fog lights, which is interesting. Obviously got the TRD there in the grille. And then you guys can see down below, it doesn't look like anything's changed. There's no air dam or anything like that. But I just thought that was interesting that there's no fog lights. I don't know if that's a TRD package thing or what, but yeah, kind of weird. And then the other interesting thing is the tire and wheel setup. It's 265, 60, 20 in the front and over in the rear. So they didn't beef up the tires or anything. Now these wheels, I will say, really cool looking TRD wheels. I think those are great. But yeah, we just have like stock tires in terms of the size. And we have this big lift. I mean, you guys can see the tire to lift ratio. It looks a little bit dorky, if I'm being honest. But anyways, this is a 3-inch suspension lift from the factory. You guys can see the red springs, TRD lift, really cool looking. And I'll show you guys the stance in just a moment, but yeah, you guys can kind of see the general setup there in the front. And then here's a look at what's happening in the back here with the truck. And when you put it all together, here's the overall stance with the Tundra, which it looks pretty interesting. It looks like the front end is almost raised higher slightly compared to the back end. Now this truck is also a long bed, and so it kind of does make the look a little bit more interesting. Yes, this is a lifted from the factory Platinum TRD off-road with the long bed. I don't think I've ever seen a truck like this before, and I don't know if I'll ever see a Tundra like this again. It's definitely an interesting spec. And I guess while we have time with the long bed, you guys can see it is absolutely massive back here, and this is cool to see with the liner and everything, power outlet, all that. But yeah, I think this is the first long bed Tundra that I've reviewed for the 24 model year, so there's the bigger bed. And then just quickly, if you aren't familiar with the Platinum package, it's basically your loaded up luxury interior. It's not technically the top line, but it's pretty dang close. So really nice material use, as you can see. You've got stuff like memory seats, power folding mirrors, blind spot running with the mirrors. And let's see what the payload is actually, 1,300 pounds. You got these nicer seats, really nice trim perforated. Got the blue accent, that's another thing as part of the Platinum. You see heated steering wheel, power adjustment with the steering wheel. And then the Platinum's gonna come standard with big digital gauge cluster, huge infotainment system. We got stuff like heated and ventilated seats, dual zone climate. And then since this is a TRD off-road package truck, you guys can see you've got the regular drive mode select, we got tow haul mode, multi-terrain select, and crawl control 2-speed transfer case as well. And then notice we got the rear view camera mirror, and then we do have a panoramic sunroof. And then with the Platinum, you do get the power sliding window where the whole window goes down. Okay, so here's our window sticker with this truck, 2024 Platinum 6.5. You guys can see all the standard equipment here. Base MSRP $65,105. So 3-inch suspension lift kit is almost $4,000 for the option, and then that's completely separate from the TRD off-road package. So you could just get the suspension lift by itself without the TRD off-road package if you want. Anyways, total MSRP $74,663, and let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, and you hope you can see the heads-up display. Both the mirrors, do blind spot running throughout the rest of the rear. Also got sunshades in the rear, that's pretty cool. Anyways, this is all about the lift. So let's focus on the lift. Makes me think of the SpongeBob episode, The Lid, The Lid, The Lid. No, we're talking about the lift. Also, that's the new TRD Pro color in person. That looks really sharp. I think that color will age well. I think, what's it called, Terra? I might get a review on on that later today or another day. Just depends on when it's done through pre-delivery inspection and all that. Really cool color though. But so far, I mean, it seems like we're not struggling to move at all. But again, we don't have bigger tires, which is kind of hilarious. I love this V6 so much. It's just such a torquey, robust powertrain, at least the feel. Ride quality is pretty dang good. You do feel taller, definitely feel taller compared to a standard Tundra. And overall, it's just very smooth. I will say though, it seems like the travel seems a little bit firmer. Sometimes it happens with lifts. Not bad. Yeah, this is pretty dang comfortable, and it seems like it handles pretty good too. We'll see when we go around the little roundabout thing in terms of the handling and everything. But I'm actually really impressed. You do feel a little bit more body roll compared to a stock Tundra. It does feel a little bit more of that, so something to consider. Doesn't struggle to get up and move though. Geez, this V6 is just a thing of beauty. It really is. But yeah, I think this drives really well. I like it a lot. It's very comfortable. I don't think you can seat much with this lift. Like I said, it does feel slightly firmer over the bumps compared to stock, and it does also feel a little bit what's the word for it? A little bit more body roll as well. So yeah, you do concede a little bit, but overall, I mean, I think it drives well. But it is expensive. 3-inch lift, $4,000. I guess here's the deal: is you're paying for a factory lift, so it's covered under the factory warranty. Versus if you don't get a factory lift, right, you void the suspension part of the warranty, and if the lift company has their own warranty, then you're covered with that. But yeah, so I guess that could be part of the premium, right? If you have to kind of understand that, right? You're getting it covered under factory warranty, and so that's kind of part of the price premium with this. But yeah, aside from that, I think it drives well. But I will say, it definitely needs bigger tires. I think though, I understand why Toyota didn't do bigger tires. I think it just comes down to fuel economy, because the Tundra does not have a single package from the factory with bigger tires than 33s. And so all of the fuel economy ratings with the Tundra are based off of that. So if they put 35s on this truck, which in my opinion is what this truck needs, at least 33s, because I think these are like 32s is what they look like. Probably 34s, 35s is what would work really well with this. Then they would have to go and probably get it recertified with fuel economy, because that's what Ford had to do with the Gen 3 Raptor, right? With the 37s they put on it, different fuel economy than the 35s. So they probably have to get the truck recertified, and I doubt they're going to sell too many of these with this lift. It's probably going to be like a lower volume thing. So it's like the amount of money that would cost versus the premium they're getting out of it's probably not worth it. So I think that Toyota made this package with the expectation that whoever buys this is immediately going to go and put bigger tires on it. But let me know what you guys think about this factory lifted truck, especially the spec with the long bed and the lift. It's a very unique spec. So let me know what you guys think about the spec. Let me know what you guys think about the lift. Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's worth the, you know, almost $4,000 premium? Or would you rather just go to an off-road shop and lift the truck yourself? Because, you know, 3-inch lift, I mean, I think you could maybe do it for less. It depends on the quality though. And so that's another thing, is like this lift quality versus what you might get for a little bit less money. So yeah, I think I'm on the team of this package, but yeah, let me know what you guys think.